Let's begin.
It's October 23rd, 2021. You know what that means. It is day 23 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 10. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before I get started with today's video, which is the Serpents, I'm going to need you to click subscribe, hit the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and share this video because it helps me get my channel and videos out there to a much broader audience. And as well as there's a bunch of us doing it this year. We got the Trash Film Addict, 13th Wolfman, I Am the Ice Lord, Curly Girl at the Movies, Carly317, Dave Maggot, Retro Horror, Random Horror, Double Shot J. There's tons of us doing it this year. That one of us has something that will be more up your alley. So go check them out. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Doing all that. I know they would deeply appreciate it. So go show them some love. So, like I mentioned, Serpents is my movie for today, and I bought this movie at Big Lots for $3, and for the next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to be watching nothing but movies that I bought from Big Lots for $3. Most of them are in this Man-Eater series, and I didn't really think this movie was going to be as good as I thought it was. When the final credit rolled upon the screens, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The ending is probably one of the best endings I've seen in a movie in a long time, just because of they set something up earlier in the movie and it didn't really pay off until the last 30 seconds of the movie, and that's what this movie did. It's it just paid off big time, and then you got this close up of this person, and then it's cut to black, credits. I'm like, okay. But basically it follows this this army force, just a group of this army soldiers kind of on patrol, and I think they're looking for something. I think they're looking for diamonds or something, they're being shady. I think that plot element doesn't really matter to the movie. They're just out there doing what they're doing, and they get attacked by the Taliban. And they end up getting their weapons taken away from them, blindfolded, and everything. And then all of a sudden, when they are the Taliban are going to be kind of executing them and holding for ransom and everything, the ground starts shaking, and they all run outside, start shooting, and all at the same time, our heroes of the movie are blindfolded and tied, and so they're helpless. And all of a sudden, it just goes quiet, and they don't know what's going on. They get free, and it's just oh, okay. My biggest problem with this movie, even though it was a fun movie to watch, is where did all the weapons go? Okay, they take all their weapons away, and the only thing they have left is a few AK-47s and some grenades. Where did all their M16s and stuff like that, or their automatic rifles? And so it's where did they all go? They must have had someone must have taken off with them. But so that's kind of, I think they just needed to kind of strip them down a little bit, kind of take away a lot of their armory. So that's kind of the way. But then they soon realized that there was something underneath the ground, and that's where you get a better view of the snakes with this one. They're a little bit more closer to this one in the movie, but it's fun. My another big complaint of this movie is that they have this sequence in the movie where one of the Taliban members has a video camera. And it's basically, pointing to the ground, you don't see nothing, and then he falls to the ground, and then you see him being dragged away. So, the way people get eaten in this movie, they don't get dragged away. These are 100-foot monsters. They come out of the ground, they're awoken by an explosion, by accident, and they're killable. They kill a few of them in the movie. That's where the last death of one of the Serpents is probably the best part of this entire movie. I'm going to give a spoiler warning when I get to that, because I really want to talk about it. So, but I don't like to do spoilers, but I really want to talk about this ending. So and I don't think a lot of you will actually seek this out, so I'm just going to tell you when I get to that point. So, just it's fun. It's a little cheesy acting. The effects aren't that bad, to be honest with you. I think they're much more. I think they're better than what was in yesterday's video. Reanimation, the zombie effects. I think just the CGI monsters look really good in this movie. I had a fun watching these snakes eat people. These sand serpents eat people. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The way they eat people is like they just kind of like just hover over you and they drop down on top of you. That's it. They don't drag you from underneath the ground because they're 100-foot worms and 100-foot serpents and whatever, and they just drop on top of you and you're gone. So in the video camera, you see the guy being dragged away. I'm like, the camera shouldn't have been there. You know, if that guy was holding the camera when he was getting eaten, it should have just disappeared along with the guy. So. But anyways, of course, the plot of the movie is trying to get a helicopter to them so they can take off. And one of the sand serpents ends up eating one of the helicopters. It's hilarious. And so the radio in the world is like, it's like 100 years old or something like that. And the part is like some rando part. And they like, well, that's out of the question. So they drive to the next village. Terrible driving. Terrible shooting. These people I don't know how they all made it through basic training, to be honest with you. And then they make it to the next village, like, oh, we have the part what you need. And they drive all the way back to fix the radio, and then more people end up getting killed and eaten, and, like, it's just, like, it's fun. It makes no sense, but it's just a lot of fun. So, what makes this movie worth watching is the ending. So, they make it through these underground tunnels in the movie. To me, I don't understand why the sand serpents can't break through this thing, which they show up eventually. But I'm like, why? They hunt like sound and vibrations and everything, but they must be attracted to like really large vibrations. And so, like simple footsteps, I think they'll be all right. But that's very inconsistent as well. But and they walk through these underground tunnels and they get to this armory. They get more weapons and more grenades and everything. And because earlier in the movie when the Taliban kind of steals all their weapons and stuff, like, where did they all go? Like, what happened to all the weapons they just had? They should have been still around them. But it's like, they're gone. They've been, it's just the way the movie kind of strips them down, like, to the bare essentials. And so they find more weapons and everything. And they find a suicide vest. And a bunch of C4 and everything. And the movie is over at this point. We have about 40 seconds left of this movie. They're taking off in the helicopter. Spoiler warning. The guy, our lead guy, has it strapped on him, ready to go. And the sand serpent comes out of the ground, getting ready to take and eat the helicopter. And he's like, not today. He rips the little detonation button, jumps out the side of the helicopter into the mouth of the serpent and blows the serpent up and the himself up, saving the helicopter. And it's just like he does that old school swan dive out the side of the car, out the side of the helicopter, and it's just like, that's hilarious. So that ending saved this movie. I mean, I enjoyed the movie overall. The movie is actually pretty bloody. You know, they don't cuss. I think these are TV made movies, but there's still a lot of blood in these movies. So, Sand Serpents. I'm going to jump right into telling you my rating for this movie. It's definitely a 1. It's run of the mill horror, but it's just it's cheesy fun. You know, like you can watch it with a group if you want, with a friend or two, but I think I had the best experience watching it by myself, and I'm sure you may have some better friends that will give a little bit more color commentary, but I had a lot of fun watching it by myself. So that is all. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and all I can really say is thank you.